Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm gonna take a few minutes here to hopefully quickly go through some tips that'll help you when save money when building a new PC. Now you're most likely going to be building a PC for gaming, so that's what this is kind of oriented towards. Just a heads up. Now, one of the first things you're gonna do when building the PC is you're gonna probably go to Newegg or a similar site, and you're gonna be just making a list of stuff as you go through. Now, when it comes to CPUs, what you can do is you can save a couple bucks usually by going to AMD instead of Intel. For instance, on my first build, I went with an AMD FX 6300 CPU, and it's gonna save you probably, $100 over an Intel CPU, and you can buy an AMD FX 6300, best selling. I usually sort lowest price, but AMD FX 6300, it's a good CPU that gets the job done. 6 cores, good clock speed and everything like that. $110. So I don't think you're really going to find a Intel CPU that oh my bad, best selling. I don't see. I mean, you're not going to find one that cheap necessarily, and these are 4 cores. If you want 2 more cores, then probably go with the AMD one for cost savings, because the FX 6300 will just like mop the floor with this little i3 in terms of performance. Now, motherboards. Just for instance, I'm going to open the AMD one once again. I'm not towards AMD. I actually have an Intel build, but let's see here. See, this is what you don't want to do. Spend $220 on a motherboard if you're trying to save money. Um, it's 6 gigabyte per second SATA connect ports, obviously USB 3.0. That's good. However, similar specs right here. Same socket. Um, this one might have a little bit nicer components, few little bells and whistles here that are better, but okay, this one's a bad example. I wouldn't go for 3 out of 5 stars, but this one right here next to it maybe, or this one right here. So this one, same socket, better or same connection speed or for the SATA ports and everything like that. Not gonna have all the bells and whistles of this $220 one, but it's a lot cheaper, and for most people it'll work. Granted, you're not gonna be overclocking like crazy. So definitely look into maybe a lower cost motherboard instead of the fancy, eye-catching, specifically gaming ones, that are oriented towards the top builds and I don't know. Now, graphics card, that's not something you want to cheap out on. Don't cheap out on a graphics card. That's something you regret. You cheap out on a graphics card and you're just not going to be happy. You're going to have this new PC build. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to try this game. And you're going to open the game and you're getting like 30 FPS, it's gonna be choppy, and that's when you're going to realize I should have bought the nicer card. Now, this doesn't mean go for the highest price card, but just kind of do some research and evaluate price for performance. What's the better deal? For instance, I'm just using this for example here. I don't really have too much preference for AMD, Intel, or anything like that. But we're comparing 1060 and 970. 1060 just came out recently. Now they actually have them in stock. That's a good thing. I mean, they didn't have shit for stock. Why are you giving me R7s? What's going on here? What are you doing? No, 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 no. Get that out of there. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Why are you doing that? Okay. No, why is there a 750? No, I want that. When did I ever select that? Is it me? Or, like, I don't have no 750 selected. Anyways, look at the 1060s here. $200 you can get a 3 gig 1060. Now, I personally just purchased this 1060 right here, this bad boy. It's gonna perform the same on par with the 6 gig 1060 level. Of course, you don't have as much memory, but in terms of performance, I have a 1080p monitor. It gets the job done. Now, $210, you can get 1060. That is going to outperform a 970. You know, where's 970 even at? Okay, you can't find a price on the 970. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, look at your cheapest 9s. They'd have no prices available to be shown. I don't know why 970 price jumped up so high, but basically, just do a little research in terms of price and performance and what would be best for you. For me, 1080p monitor, 1060 does just fine. That's plenty. You can max pretty much any game out and have good 60 FPS. So that's perfect for me. I don't really need more than that, and it was cheap. That's why I just do a little bit of research and compare price and performance. Now, RAM, don't get the fancy RAM. Here, I'll show you. You don't need LED, DDR4 most likely. So just go down here to some good DDR3 with a decent latency and everything like that. Um, yeah, I'd go dual channel. Maybe get some Ripjaws dual channel, because it's gonna be a little bit quicker running dual channel than it will be just one stick. Don't really cheap out on a power supply. You can save money by not having a modular one where you can disconnect all the cables, so that's what I personally cheaped out. Bought a nice, well, I got a Thermaltake 750 watt 80 bronze rated, but it's not modular, so I have all these cables, but I just tucked them away. Can't see them, doesn't bother me. Now for computer cases. See, where is the nice Zalman? Okay, it doesn't show up this time. But my first PC case I built was, my first PC I built had a $24 case. Now, $24 case compared to these is a lot of difference. It's right there, that nice good old Zalman. Yeah, so very cheap to build, and that case savings it adds up. Did it look that cool? Not really. I'll admit, it didn't look cool, but it got the job done. So now if you're to spend, how much on all these other cases, that's a lot of savings there. Keep in mind you do have the quality of the case. The case, a few of the motherboard standoffs really weren't lining up that well, so I had to just I used like 4 of them, I think, but that's plenty. I'm not gonna be shaking my PC. It's not gonna be strapped on the back of a ATV or some shit like that. And I got, the Corsair Carbide series. I bought the Corsair Carbide series case now with my new build, and I still had a similar problem. So I don't think it's something you'll necessarily escape by buying a very expensive case. You're still going to have little things that bother you and are cheap, but it is a better quality, I'll admit. However, for the $125 savings, I make mine work, and it had USB 3.0 on it. Can I go back here? Yeah. It had USB 3.0 on the little front panel and everything like that, so it worked out for me. Now, let's see. For storage, you probably don't need to buy 500 gig SSD. I bought a small one just for my boot, and then I bought an SSHD, which is a hybrid hard drive. Essentially, it's a mix between solid state and conventional, or regular hard drive. So it provides a good middle ground. Probably don't need to buy an optical drive in most cases. I mean, chance of you ever really using it are slim now today. We don't use a lot of CDs for stuff. I mean, maybe some people do. People are arguing that, oh, I use CDs every day. Okay, then do that. But if you don't see yourself really using one much, maybe don't worry about it. For cooling, it's one of the last main things. I'd go with an air cooler. Now, some people are like die-hard water coolers fans, I mean, $40 air cooler, you can buy a trustworthy liquid cooler for probably $60. But air coolers just be much cheaper. It'll be louder, I'm guessing, but it won't be as great at cooling either. But if you're not overclocking, that shouldn't be a concern. Which I don't overclock my components. I don't see the extra wear, stress, and heat, everything like that. I don't see it as worth the extra 3 FPS I'm gonna get. Plus you're avoiding your warranties. Not worth it to me. Now, another way you can save is actually something I stumbled across this site on I was buying my monitor. That's what it was. Yeah, I was buying my monitor, and nobody carried my BenQ monitor at the time, and the price was fluctuating, going up and down to like $160. And I was like, what's going on? Well, then I found that B&H started, or they had it, and it was cheapest at B&H not only, but something B&H does is free expedited shipping. So you're going to get your parts in 3 days, and you don't pay tax on that either. So very fast shipping. If you really want to build your PC in a rush, check out B&H. If you don't want to have to pay $20 extra for 3-day shipping on products. That's something that is definitely nice about them, I'd say. PC Part Picker, you may not have heard of. It's a good tool to compare prices. For instance, just click this bad boy, 1060, yeah. But yeah, see B&H, $259. Newegg has the same price. But I mean, you're gonna get Newegg's ground shipping in comparison to B&H's 3-day expedited. So you may be waiting for your Newegg parts for a little while longer. Actually, I had some stuff from Newegg that I got the free shipping option when I ordered my graphics card, and it arrived in 4 days, I want to say. But just kind of keep that in mind that the 3-day shipping is nice for free. And you know, obviously you can compare prices here on PC Part Picker, see if it's in stock, but you can't really trust that too much. So I usually just refer to the website as well. Now, lastly, you can buy used parts. This is something a lot of people may kind of be deterred of, but let's see. For instance, you can buy, you know, a 974, 165 bucks. That's not a bad deal. You're not going to buy a new graphics card that's that good performance for that price. Now, you obviously want to inspect for wear on it. You want to just make sure that's clean, see the person took care of it. Probably that they didn't overclock the snot out of it would be a good thing. But yeah, so maybe take a look into used PC parts. However, hopefully you're gonna be building your own, because that's what's gonna save you money. Don't look at this bullshit. I mean, $1,200 for this piece. Look, it's a GTX 960, and he has an AMD. He has the $140 CPU and probably $150 GPU. So around $300 in terms of where most of your performance can be between the CPU and the GPU, and he wants $1,200. Now that case there, his fancy little case, glass thing, if you're into that or not, that probably cost $100, I bet you at least. So, but still, you can build something much better for much less. That's gonna look nicer, because honestly, I'm not a fan of this. But all in all, just try and do your research when it comes to building a PC, and think of those ways that you can save. If you have any questions, comments, just be sure to let me know. I'll hopefully be doing another video or two, maybe over my build, or stuff like that. Alright, thanks guys.